This is Greg Troutwine with Marine Technology Reporter TV, and we're here today with Soren Themann, the CEO of Subsea Europe Services. And Soren, first and foremost, thank you very much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Okay. Soren, just to start, can you give an overview, a by the numbers account, if you like, of Subsea Europe Services today?
Yeah, thank you. We're a young company. We're only founded in January 2020, which was only a few weeks before COVID-19 started dominating our lives. But our business case in general is based on almost 10 years of experience in starting and running technology businesses. And my first technology company was called Ambient, was founded back in 2008, 9-ish, and got acquired by Kongsberg Maritime back in 2013. So after a few exciting years at Kongsberg Maritime, I then decided to actually go back to entrepreneurship. And so the goal of Subsea Europe is to make it possible for every organization to collect and evaluate marine data professionally. So looking back at the first year in business, we made a significant investment in the rental pool. So we currently have more than 10 systems up to date. We've developed and also successfully implemented the integrated hydrographic survey system concept, which is based on the Sonic 2024 and 2020 multi-beam echo sounders and the I2NS inertial navigation system of Autonomy. And we've grown our field support capabilities from initially 2 people, so 1 in the back office, 1 working out in the field, to a total of 5 people, which I think is a great achievement under the Corona and COVID-19 dominated world these days. So we're happy to be here.
Well, I got to tell you, starting your business at the start of a pandemic is truly a challenge, and I wish you the best of luck. Obviously, business has changed, the world has changed. We will be getting back to normal at some juncture. But when you look at your business today, what are the primary drivers that you see for your business?
Well, I would say autonomy. Autonomy of sensor systems, but also autonomy of the platform carrying the sensor system, which from our perspective is 2 separate topics. I mean, especially the autonomy of the sensor system requires the use of artificial intelligence moving forward, which we believe is the second important driver here. There will be no autonomous data processing and evaluation capabilities without AI, neural networks or supervised learning or any of these. But this can be problematic because we have sufficient data available in the maritime domain, but not sufficient proven interpretations of the data to train the network. That's a hard nut to crack for future. But both autonomy and AI will enable new business models for us and lead to a disruption of existing value chains, which we hope to do next year.
Excellent. As the technology has evolved, it seems to a degree that hydrographic survey has become somewhat commoditized. How do you see it?
Well, especially in shallow water and with shallow water systems, the technological differences between the different multi-beam systems available on the market are rather small. So selecting a suitable system for the job has become more like some kind of a fashion statement rather than a fact-based decision. Now, this commoditization is in fact also enabling new business models for system integrators like us. So we believe we've standardized on an integrated hydrographic survey system that we believe meets the requirements of at least 90%, maybe 95% of all multi-beam survey jobs in shallow water. So through this high level of standardization, we can keep the cost base low and still offer great technology with great technical support. And this then gives us the required leverage to offer our integrated systems, for example, on a subscription base, for customers who need a fully fledged system only a few times a year, but then of course want the latest and greatest as usual. So we've seen similar developments already in other industries. So the commoditization of the car industry, for example, is a prominent one. You don't rent a specific brand or model, but you rent a class of car. So today you can even subscribe to a car and use it just when you need it. So cost is cutting low. And it finally also leads to mobility as a service business models. So We believe the next step in our evolution would be a survey system as a service, which then leads to data as a service at some point, when customers just pay for the information, like a seabed map or anything else, instead of buying or renting a multibeam, which they do today.
Okay, excellent. I know you referenced the role of autonomy, and obviously we cover maritime sectors, broad maritime, offshore energy, and subsea sectors, and autonomy is a recurring theme through everything that we do. But can you look specifically and discuss how autonomy is impacting the hydrographic survey sector?
Well, we believe that real autonomy will be a game changer, also for the hydrographic sector, as any other sectors in technology. But we also believe we're not yet there. Also, there are several good examples for autonomous platforms like Kongsberg Maritime's Hugin AUV and how it's used by Ocean Infinity, for example. But however cool this is, these are still automated platforms with certain aspects of autonomy. Real autonomous means, or real autonomy means, it would give the system, I would give a system a task like do multi-beam survey in this area with a resolution of X and a point density of Y. And then the system conducts the whole survey, takes all decisions autonomously and delivers the final product. But to get to this point, we need to take autonomy of the platform and autonomy of the sensor system to the next level. So from our perspective, the roadmap to real autonomy will lead from automated platforms and sensor systems to autonomous platforms and sensor systems, and then finally only to integrated autonomous survey systems. So a step in between will be remote services, which is something we're working on right now, and many others are working on this. So where automated systems are assisted by experts sitting in the offices far away from the action. So we see clear examples of this, or early examples of this, with Fugro's office-assisted remote services, and in combination with semi-autonomous platforms, also with Ocean Infinity's Armada. But finally, most hydrographers will spend more time assisting autonomous survey systems from the warm office. That's our belief. And then that will lead to integrated autonomous survey systems.
Okay. Well, you obviously hit on a lot of good points. And again, I see it in all the sectors that we serve, because when you look at the evolution of technology, obviously technology in all sectors is moving at a rapid pace. But on the other side of the coin, you have the cultural acceptance of it. On our maritime side, it's captains dealing with being told what to do from shore. In your specific sector, it's hydrographers that are doing their business from their office versus being on the boat. How do you see the evolution of the acceptance of this technology, allowing people to spend more time in the office and less time at sea?
It's a change process, as always. I mean, when technology is evolving quicker than people, there's always a change process associated. So it will still take years until we see a broad acceptance and use of remote assisted services and autonomy in all sectors of the industry. But very specialized services will maybe never be executed without an expert on site. I believe the days of the roughnecks offshore surveyors fighting with technology and the elements are long gone anyway. What we see today in the hydrographic surveying industry is more a computer specialist than a daredevil. So, and also from a personal perspective, maybe a very personal perspective, this new path could actually result in a more healthy work-life balance. While being offshore is very cool and great in the beginning of a career, it gets more and more difficult when a family comes into play. And then you finally have reached a high level of competency and experience, and you would rather like to stay home, which is an issue and a contradiction in terms a little bit. But then taking responsibility for remote services from the office could be a great alternative and actually a win-win. So I would expect a quick cultural change and acceptance of remote services in the hydrographic survey industry moving forward.
Excellent. Been very kind with your time. I just have one more question. And it's an interesting question because it's my standard. You can't have a business discussion without discussing COVID-19, but you were born just at the outset, or your company was born just at the outset of COVID-19. So when you look to date at how COVID-19 has impacted your business or your business plan, can you discuss that, but also discuss what your outlook is for 2021?
Well, as with any other business, COVID-19 has had quite some impact also on our business, but also on the overall industry. I mean, there's an almost endless number of different local regulations regarding travel and quarantine, and this makes it very hard to plan and also very hard to execute projects. So, and this gives a very high level of uncertainty, which makes decision taking very hard. All this has led to delays and also to some cancellations on our end. We've seen that also with business partners and other companies. So, but fortunately, the majority of projects are important enough to be continued, even under COVID-19. But what has really been a shock moment for us in the first weeks of the new venture was when the banks in Germany suddenly decided to not give any loans for investments anymore, but focus on bridge financing for liquidity alone. So some kind of a bank lockdown. So we've virtually signed the loan agreement securing the first batch of rental systems one day before the lockdown. That was a very, very tense situation. So after almost 1 year now, we're in calmer waters and will execute our business case as planned. We're a little bit behind, but we hope to be positive results in this year already. This means more investments for 2021. And we will also start 2 research projects around autonomy of survey systems and neural networks for data interpretation. We're also expanding our services by adding post-processing services for multi-beam data, which will all hopefully support and lead us in the direction of simplifying marine data acquisition for our customers. So exciting times to come.
Absolutely. Well, best of luck navigating these turbulent waters, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.